Hey everyone, and welcome. Are you ready to go on a really cool adventure? Today, we're going to take a trip back in time, but with our words. We're going to learn all about something called the simple past tense. Okay, let's jump right in. First things first, I want you to just think for a second. What did you do yesterday? Did you play a game? Maybe help out with some chores? Did you watch a cool movie? Get those ideas in your head. Got 'em? Good, because you're about to learn exactly how to talk about all those things. So what is the simple past tense anyway? Well, think of it like a time machine for our sentences. It's a special tool we use to talk about stuff that's already over and done with. Things that happened yesterday, last week, or even a long time ago. Now, how do we fire up this time machine? For most words, there's this awesome, almost magical trick. It's the ED rule. And it's basically your new superpower for talking about the past. Let's see exactly how it works. Check this out. If I'm talking about today, right now, I say I play with my dog. But if I'm talking about yesterday, I just add that magic ED and say I played with my dog. See how that works? So simple. The action happened in the past, so the verb gets to wear its special past tense ending. Here's another one. Let's say you helped out with some chores. That happened in the past, right? So instead of saying you walk to the store, you'd say I walked to the store. You just add that little ed on the end. Easy peasy. And what if you did a really great job helping out at home? You wouldn't say, I cleaned my room if you're talking about yesterday. You'd say, I cleaned my room. The word clean gets that ED to show everyone that the job is already finished. Nicely done. Okay, so that ED rule is our new best friend. But, sometimes spelling can be a little tricky. There are a few little surprises to watch out for. But don't worry, just think of them as fun little puzzles we get to solve. Let's take a quick look at these. So if a word already ends with an E, like love, you just have to add the D. Boom, loved. If it ends with a consonant and then a Y, like in hurry, the Y actually changes to an I before you add the ED, so you get hurried. And for a few words, like travel, you actually double that last letter. Okay, let's see one of those spelling puzzles in action. The word here is tidy. See how it ends with that Y? So what do we do for the past tense? We change that Y to an I and add ED. Yesterday, I tidied up my toys. You got it? All right, so most of our words are verbs. They follow that ED rule pretty well. But then there are the rule breakers. These verbs are a little rebellious. They don't use ED at all. They have their own totally special words for the past. They're a little tricky, but honestly, they're also kind of cool. So, for example, think about the word make. If you made something yesterday, would you say, I maked my bed? Say that out loud. Maked. It sounds a little funny, doesn't it? That's because make is one of our rule breakers. Right? For the verb make, the special past tense word is made. So, today I make my bed, but yesterday I made my bed. See? Not a single ED there. This is just one of those special ones you have to remember. Here's another chore that uses a rule breaker. How about taking out the trash? You definitely wouldn't say, I taked out the trash. The special past tense word for take is took. I took out the trash. Here are a few more really common rule breakers you'll use all the time. Do changes to did, go becomes went, see turns into saw, and say becomes said. It's a really good idea to practice these guys. Now, this chart here shows how we can build all sorts of sentences. Today, we've really been hanging out in that positive column, which is just how you say something did happen. And as you can see, for our regular words, you add ED, and for those irregular rule breakers, you use that special past form we've been talking about. All right, you all have learned so much today. You know the magic ED rule, and you've even met the rebellious rule breakers. So, are you ready for a quick, fun pop quiz to test your new skills? I think you are. Let's do it. Okay, first question, fill in the blank. Yesterday, I blank my bed. The verb is make. So is make a rule follower or rule breaker? Take a second to think. If you said made, you are 100% correct. Awesome. Yesterday, I made my bed. That's one of our special rule breakers. Okay, quiz question number 2. Last week, we blank to the park. The verb is walk. Now, what do we do with this one? Yes, walked. That's it. You just add that magic ed on the end. Last week, we walked to the park. You guys are totally getting the hang of this. Here we go, the last one. Final challenge. Yesterday, I blank my homework, and the verb is do. What do you think? Is this one of those tricky ones? The answer is did. Yesterday, I did my homework. Do is another super important rule breaker. You all did an absolutely amazing job on that quiz. And just like that, you are becoming a past tense expert. Just remember the two big ideas, right? For most verbs, just add ed. And for some of those special rule-breaking verbs, you just have to use a whole new word. So now you have this incredible superpower to talk all about the past. My final question for you today is this. What story will you tell about your yesterday? Go on out there and share all the amazing things you've done. Thanks so much for learning with me today.